Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It's February 10th and I'm doing a little more propagation, but I'm doing an experiment. And the way this is going to work is I've just got some mission fig cuttings. Now these fig cuttings I actually wrapped with parafilm on the exposed outside part. That way, if I do take them out of the tote, they won't dry out. It'll keep them moist. So if they start forming roots and such. But anyway, what this experiment is now these three here are pretty much cuttings that are standard. They're pretty long cuttings. This one here is a little shorter, but it's got probably about 3 nodes underneath the ground. It's only about probably 3 inches or so, but it's got plenty of nodes underground. Got one on top. These here don't have, I think that one's got a node underground, but these don't have, they're just little sections, and we're going to see if these are root just on their own. But what I've got is this row here, I've actually just scraped the outside of the cambium down to the cambium and injured it up like some say. This one here is I've shaved off the outside like I standardly do. This bunch here has nothing done to them. Now all 3 of these have rooting hormone on them, the powdered rooting hormone like I normally use. Now these here don't have anything. They've just been cut off. There's no rooting hormone or anything. And we're going to see how these root and if they survive. Now, you know, I don't have a whole lot of faith that these here are going to survive. Now I had to cut them off of some of my other ones because of the height and to fit them in my tub and such as that. So I had the pieces. We're just going to see what happens to them and see how they grow. But this is an experiment, and let's see how these do after a month's time or so. It's March 7th, and it's been 25 days now on this test. This is one of the missions black missions that's been cut on the side, and it's putting out roots. So as you can see, it's getting pretty active. So this is the first one of those missions to root. We'll follow the rest of them. Okay, another update. This has been 29 days. This is March 11th, and this one here is just now starting to root out. So this is another one that was actually cut. So we'll keep going, see how this all turns out. It's March 15th, and I forgot to take a picture before I planted it up, but I just planted up the 3rd cut mission cutting. So apparently it looks like cutting the side of it as far as you know, shaving it completely down. It looks like that is going to be the fastest rooting method. We'll keep watching and we'll see how the rest do. It's March 18th, and as you can see, you got a root starting out there. This is one of the black missions that didn't have anything done to it. So anyway, that's the next one to come out. It's March 21st. It's been about 5.5 weeks since these were put in here to propagate. We started them on February 10th. This is one of the ones that I just cut the bottom and put rooting hormone on, and you can see right down here the roots starting to come to the side. And this is one that the bottom was just cut off and rooting hormone put on it. Nothing else, no scraping, no cutting, and you can see where the roots are coming out on it. So looks like the scraped and the ones that just cut off are rooting about the same. It's March 23rd, time to do a little update. Now this is one of the ones that was scraped. As you can see, we have a root coming out right there. And this is one that was just cut off and scraped or cut. And as you can see, we have roots coming out right there. So that's where we're standing now. It's March 26th, and we're looking some more. We've got one of these. This is starting to put out roots. You can see right there. This is the one that's nothing done. This is the ones that was nothing. This was just a short piece. It just had one node on top. There was nothing on the bottom. This piece was maybe 3 inches long, and you can see it's rooting out. Now this was one that was scraped, and you can see it's starting to put some roots out now too. It's March 27th, and we're going to wrap this little experiment up, but we've got 2 of these that are yet to put roots to the side. This one was one that was nothing. Remember, the nothings are just a little short. They were about 3 inch. They were cut off the top of some of the other ones. Now this one here, I cannot see any signs of anything. Of course, we'll leave it there because it really hasn't been that long. It's been about roughly 6 weeks. You know, sometimes it takes them a little longer, but these are the only 2 out of the bunch that I have left that haven't been potted up and taken out. So we'll take and do an overview of what we found out. You can see what the difference is. Now this is all anecdotal. It's not going to be really scientific. There might have been some factors that changed the rate that these rooted in or something. But what I can gain from this is that all the ones that I cut the side, which I actually cut off the edge of the bottom, you can go back and see, and maybe I'll put a link to some of the videos where I've done this, because I didn't actually show this. I just started off with them all planted. But I wanted to know, because there's so many people out there that do fig cuttings, I wanted to see which one was most effective to get roots out quicker. Now, and so what I found was the ones that I cut the side, all of them rooted out before any of the other ones. I think maybe one of the ones that I just cut the bottom and put rooting hormone on rooted out at the same time as the last one that was cut. But the ones that were just cut and had rooting hormone, they came in second place as far as all 3 of them completed before the ones that were actually shaved on the sides. The ones that were shaved on the side, for whatever reason, they tended to come in third place. And the other ones that were just kind of a experiment as a side note, they were little tops that were cut off. Some didn't have. There was only one of the 3 that had node under the surface. And as you can see, that one of them had rooted out during this test. Now the last 2, one is really leafed out, so I'm for sure it's probably got good roots there. They just haven't come to the side of the cup. And the last one, I don't know if it's going to take it all. I'll keep it going because it could be one that's really slow to take and put out its roots. But those three didn't have, they were just cut off. In fact, whenever I started this, I didn't think that there was a real good chance that they would actually propagate out into a tree. But like I say, two of them did, but there was no rooting hormone or anything. And I think one of them rooted out, and I have to go back and look at the video, but I think one of them rooted out at the same time as one of the last ones that was scraped. But so anyway, this gives you an idea. It's kind of a little test. I wanted to run it myself. I'd seen a lot of people that do this. And if you want to see more of information like this and you're not subscribed, we'll hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you'll be notified. And of course, give it a big thumbs up. Happy gardening.